Hi everyone, Jarrell from Sungrand here, developer of the Silver Falls games. I wanted to share this video with you and some thoughts that I've had on game development for a while now. But we'll get started with the cool stuff, is developing for legacy devices by creating free homebrew games. And by creating free homebrew games, you can remind people of how much they enjoyed these old legacy platforms and how important these legacy platforms have been to our game industry. You can see here on my table, I've got development. I'll just power this guy on here. I've got the original Game Boy DMG. I've got an Arduino for 1-bit gaming. I'll just turn that off for the music though. We have the Vita, PSP, old Nokia phones that use Java. You have the DS, the Game Boy Advanced, and the Pokemon Mini. I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of that guy so we stop the music for now. We'll go ahead and turn up the Vita music for just a little bit more chill soundtrack here. So, what I've had on my mind recently, in terms of game development, is modern game development is not helping me become a better game developer. Only doing modern game development it's making me worse as a game designer. What I'm finding with modern games is that I tend to get stuck in the complex modern systems. Things such as, oh, look at this new feature, this is great. Oh, but it's new and experimental, so it doesn't really work. But if you want to use it, it would be great if it worked. But you're going to have to find some tricks and workaround to get all this stuff to work. Okay, well, I'll just invest a heap of time. I'll try and get these cool things working. I'm getting just so wrapped up and absorbed with, okay, well, look at these brilliant graphics. You could have this gorgeous water, but the performance isn't great. So why don't you just try to optimize it and see if you can get decent looking water on your platform. Oh, look how great this foliage can look. You've got incredible translucency and realistic wind effects. Oh, but the performance is really bad. See what you can do to try and get that working with decent frame rates on your platform. And what I've noticed is that is making me a worse designer. My job as a game designer is to come up with a game concept, to expand on that game concept so that it can deliver all of its potential and the promise that I've made to people, and to bring you something new and exciting and interesting. And if I just keep doing modern game design, I will lose the ability to do that. I'll lose the ability to come up with something exciting, interesting, fun, and new. And I think this is important. I think it's extremely important that any developer that's working today should step back. We need to step back from all the modern systems that we have that do all this work for us. Because when we have work done for us, we no longer try. We have all these systems that can automate and make things better and faster. And that means, well, you don't need to try then. All these systems will do work for us. And I don't believe that's conducive to developing your ability as a designer. Your ability to design a game is not inherent. It's not automatic. Some people have a knack because of their personal disposition and their life experiences. They have the knack to come up with exciting and interesting ideas. But that is a skill that takes active effort and cultivation. You have to actively develop that skill. And what I'm finding with modern game development is getting in my way of doing that. It is stopping me from cultivating my ability to design interesting game concepts. And so what I'm really enjoying right now is stepping away from modern game design environments, stepping away from the Unity game engine, and developing for older legacy consoles. It's exciting because I can create games for these old platforms in ways that I don't have access to these modern systems, which means that all these systems that do work for me, that make the job easier, don't necessarily help me become better game developer, once you strip all those away, you strip away all of your powers, and what do you have left? You know, it comes down to you as an individual to make something as a game. Having all the power in the world doesn't mean anything if you can't think of a good way to use that power. And if you need the power in order to create something good, then you are not a good creator. You should be able to create because you have cultivated the ability to create, and not because a hyper-advanced automated system creates for you. That is not what makes you a strong developer and designer. So, by spending time creating for older consoles, I have to spend more time considering what can I make that is interesting and new and exciting, that people would like, that we haven't seen before, that would just be a good experience, that just give people something to believe in. When you have restrictions like that, you have to push yourself. In terms of creativity, you have to push yourself. In terms of your ability to solve problems and engineer solutions, you improve. And by doing that, you improve as a developer, as a creator, and once you cultivate that ability, you take that back into your modern workflow, and I tend to find that I create more efficiently, I create better, I'm able to solve problems better, I can create things that are more interesting and exciting. So I'm going to keep doing that. Maybe this means that my commercial modern games, maybe they just take a little bit longer to create because I'm spending time creating on legacy platforms. But just because my modern commercial games take an extra 20% longer to reach the end of production doesn't mean that they'll be worse. On the contrary, it means that they'll be significantly better because I'm spending the time to push my creativity, to really consider and think about what makes this game fun. Why would someone like this game that I'm creating? And if you are stuck in the gears of modern game development, that sense of understanding what makes your game fun, I think that is stripped away from you because you aren't able to see it. And I think if you have the opportunity, I implore you to step away from modern game design for just a little bit. Create something for an older legacy hardware so that you can remind yourself what makes this so fun for you. What do you like about this? And I can rest assured, I can guarantee you, rest assured, it's not the realistic wind in the grass that makes a game fun. It's not your subsurface scattering on your human skin in the games that make it fun. It's not how realistic your hair physics are. That's not what makes a game fun. But what does make a game fun is something that you're going to have to find on your own. That's not an answer that I can give you, because that answer is different for everyone. So, I hope you look forward to my upcoming homebrew games. They're all going to be free. I don't want to charge for my homebrew games. It's a celebration of the game industry. It's a celebration of our past. And it's bringing excitement to people around the world. It's my way to say thank you for supporting me as a developer, for supporting Silver Falls, for supporting Sungrand. But I have heaps of games in the works that are not Silver Falls titles, so I hope you look forward to those. And if you do want to support the production and development of these free homebrew games, I do have a Patreon. I'll link that. All of these stuff I purchased out of pocket. I've ordered a Nokia N-Gage. I want to start developing on that. I'm looking at other platforms. I really want to develop for the Playdate, but they're very expensive and they take a while to ship out from what I've heard. So I've looked at the Atari VCS. That looks neat. People are constantly messaging and asking me to develop for other legacy consoles. I've been getting Dreamcast a whole bunch. I don't even have a Dreamcast. I've got a Dreamcast controller. So, yeah, if you'd like to support even more legacy platforms, you can head on over to my Patreon. You can contribute. Recently, I've been using the contributions from our patrons to pick up new legacy hardware so I can develop free homebrew titles for legacy hardware. and then I can give that back to our Patreon supporters. And again, if you don't even have the original devices, you can use emulators to play these free homebrew games. All right. So those are just some thoughts that I've been processing for a while now. I will get back to development. I'm finishing up this Halloween homebrew for the Vita. Please take care of yourselves. I hope you are all well. And let's look forward to some exciting free homebrew games coming out soon. Take care. Thanks.